haven't done much this morning, but sit over there and cry like a baby. I don't know why. Felt good this morning. I've already been paid for my little trip, and thankful to get to see everybody. It's so good when God blesses us to get to come together just for a few minutes and try to lift one another up. I feel awful weak, and I felt weak for a while. Seems like work is about to kill me, and it gets me down, and I'm thankful when God can lift me up. You know, I was thinking and reading when Paul was writing to Corinthians, and he was talking about the duty that we have to the weak. And I think about that, what he was talking about, and makes me scared because I don't think there's anyone weaker than me. So what duty could somebody like me have to the weak? And he talks a lot about charity.
Yep.
And how it's preferable to knowledge. And I read and kind of studied a little bit on that. What's he talking about? Charity is preferable to knowledge because knowledge is the beginning of wisdom. But he's talking about charity to those that are already children of God. You can choke a babe with meat.
That's right.
But milk and honey,
That's right.
is what it needs.
Amen.
It is. Help
That's
it grow.
the charity that he's talking about. It's not the scripture slinging and quoting
That's right.
this book verbatim. He's talking about showing love.
That's
The
right.
duty that we have
By
to
your
the
love
weak.
and kindness.
Listen, he's not talking about sitting there with somebody and showing them how smart we are. Because that was the case, I'd lose that battle every time.
That's right. Every
Listen, but people, don't you know that he was talking about? Listen, he says we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is none other God but one. We have that knowledge. Listen, don't you understand that there's liberty in serving my Lord? We're
Yes, there
set
is.
liberty.
That's right.
We
That's
have that knowledge. Then listen, the rituals of this world, the religion is just foolishness. People, Lord God, howbeit there is not in every man that knowledge. Listen what he's talking about. He said, take heed lest by any means this liberty of yours become a stumbling block to those that are weak. That is the duty, listen, that we have to the weak. People, listen, and Jesus said one time, to the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I by all means might save some. Lord God, that is the duty that we have as children of God. Listen, don't you know then Paul in Thessalonians he wrote, now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak. Listen, that's the duty that he's talking about. Lord God. gun. Listen, and Jesus one time was talking to him, and he said, when you see a cloud rise out of the west, straightway you say, there cometh a shower, and so it is. And when you see the south wind blow, surely here comes he. Ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky. Listen, but how is it that you do not discern this time? And why even of yourselves judge ye what is right? Lord God, people, aren't you glad then when we get weak in our walk, when we get weak in our faith, that's when God's strength is made manifest. Aren't you glad that it's not in us?
That's right.
That it's in Him.
That's right.
Sir.
Because if it was up to me,
It'd be as weak as you.
I'm afraid that we'd all be in trouble, knowing just how weak I am. The charity is preferable to knowledge, to us that are His children. Because it's with that charity that we draw men and women. Jesus said, by my loving kindness have I drawn thee. I remember when I was lost and I knew my situation. 18 years old. And when I'd go to the House of David Church up in Attica, Michigan, you know, we could look across the field in the fall time. In the winter time from our back porch, our little house there, and you could see the church about a mile across that little field. Listen, and I remember walking out one morning when I was in trouble, when I was praying, and knew where I stood. I remember walking out, listen, and sitting on that little porch swing and looking out and seeing that church and breaking my heart. Listen, you know what? When I was praying on account of my sins, and I'd walk into that little building, and all the sisters, listen, Sister June, Sister Cleta, Sister Becky, they'd come and put their arms around me and tell me that they loved me and tell me how good it was to see me. And I remember thinking, you don't know what I was doing last night. Listen, I'm not worthy of being loved. By my love and kindness have I drawn thee. If it wasn't for that love that I found when I walked in, I don't think I'd be standing here today. People, let's love one another. Let's be good to one another. Let's show this world the love that's been placed down in us.
That's right.
There's nothing good about me. The only good thing about me is that when God looks down, He don't see me anymore. He sees His Son. He sees my heart. And this flesh, it gets in the way so much. It gets in the way so much. Listen, I let this world bring me down. So often I get so weak and think, God, I don't know what to do anymore. He's talking about getting woke up at 9. I've been awake at about 3 o'clock every day this week. I can't go back to bed. I'm worried thinking about work and what's going on and trying to do a good job, working 14 hours a day. Listen, and you know what? When I can get up in the middle of the night and get down in my living room, listen, you talk about that voice. Saying, come, I want to talk to you. Don't you know everything's going to be all right? It doesn't matter if I lose everything that I've got in my life. You can come and take it, but you can't touch what God gave me. Listen.
That peace.
Love. That charity of God.
Why do we get things so mixed up? Why does it matter?
Let the flesh get
Doesn't vanity affects it.
What does this world got to offer any of us?
More
We
worry.
put so much
More worry.
emphasis
Worry.
on all the foolish things of people, and I'm not talking about anyone else, I'm talking about me. I get so worked up over
Sounds like
silliness.
talking about me.
Listen, you know what? I've failed many times in my life. I've been a failure more than once, and I'm going to fail again. But listen, I've got that promise that He said, when I hear my name called, you've been faithful over a few things. Come, and I'll make you ruler over many.
That's right.
Aren't you glad that we've got that? No matter what happens, this world is drawn so far away from my Lord. I worry over my children so much.
bigger. Grandchildren, great-grandchildren.
Seems like time is quickly passing. Seems like we try our whole lives to figure out how to raise our kids, and we turn around and they're grown.
Yep.
You know, I was driving home from work the other night, was listening to the radio and heard a woman talking. I'll say this and I'm going to get out of the way. Well, that shed, come and close it.
And good.
She was talking about how she was so angry with God over something that had happened in her life. She had lost her mother and father at a young age. And her grandfather, she called him Papa, had raised her. And she said it was the only bright spot in my life. And you know, when we'd get together every evening, we'd come and we'd meet in the little den there. Listen, and he'd get out his Bible and he began to read scripture to her there. And he was a good man, a godly man. Listen, and it wasn't long before he got diagnosed with cancer, and it began to eat him and consume him. And she was talking, and you could tell how angry she was listening to her. God was taking the only good thing that I had in my life. Listen, isn't it sad how we think sometimes?
That's where we are.
People, but you know what? She said, then as his body grew weaker and he lost his eyesight, took his eyesight from him, then you'd think that would stop his ability to listen, to teach his granddaughter. But you know what happened? Every evening she'd come to the hospital room, and her name was Stacy. Listen, and that man, as soon as she'd come in, he'd hand her the book and say, Stacy, read me a little scripture. Lord, listen to me. And it said that she used to hate it, to have to read to him, but she couldn't say no to him. Listen, and you know what? The one thing that he had in his life that he loved was a little rose garden outside, the little house there. Listen, and when he was healthy, it was the most spectacular rose garden that she'd ever seen. People, but as he grew weak and couldn't tend to it there, the thorns come up and choked it out. The weeds come up and choked it out. But every time that Stacy would go to see Papa, he'd ask her, Stacy, are the roses blooming? Listen, and she'd lie to him and she'd say, yeah, they're blooming, Papa. Lord. And you know what? He grew weaker and weaker, and one day, listen, the doctor said, I don't have much longer. She come in there that evening, and he had his little Bible there, and he couldn't even talk, couldn't even open his eyes, and she bed down, listen, in that little rocking chair next to him, and you know what she done? She reached over and picked up that book and started to read, Lord. And while she sat there reading, he took his last breath and she flipped over to the inside cover, and it said, to Stacy, the roses are blooming where I am. Come and see, Lord. And that woman, she become, listen, a child of God. And now she travels around telling that little story. And she travels all over the world, different countries, trying to teach people about the Lord. Aren't you glad that we have a hope in this world, that those that don't know my Lord just don't have people we can cling to it while the world's falling apart all around us. All we gotta do is look up a little bit higher and say, God, thy will be done. Help me to be obedient. Thy will be done. I love each and every one of you. I don't know about you all, but I've enjoyed this meeting. I've enjoyed what I've felt. I've been paid.
Thank you,
I've
Lord.
been paid moreover than I deserve. You come on, Shad, speak a few words, close it out.